When the Nine of Wands appears, you might find yourself in one of those testing phases where endurance feels more valuable than excitement. Perhaps you're close enough to your goal to see it clearly, yet tired enough from the journey that reaching it requires more courage than you thought you'd need. Sometimes this card arrives when we're discovering that the final stretch often demands different resources than the beginning, that staying power proves as important as starting power. This card often whispers of battles that are nearly over, the recognition that what feels overwhelming right now might be the last major challenge before breakthrough arrives. Perhaps you're being invited to draw upon reserves you didn't know you possessed, to remember that you survived every difficult day so far, which suggests you have whatever it takes to survive this one as well. Sometimes the Nine of Wands speaks to the wisdom that emerges from repeated testing. Maybe experiences that once felt devastating now feel manageable because you've developed confidence in your own resilience. There's something here about the strength that comes from having been tested and finding yourself still standing, about trusting your capacity to handle whatever comes next based on your track record of handling whatever came before. The bandaged head reminds us that healing and functioning can happen simultaneously. Perhaps you're discovering that you don't need to wait until you feel completely recovered before continuing to move forward. This card often appears when we're learning that wholeness includes our wounds, rather than requiring us to pretend they don't exist. That integration looks like acknowledging damage while refusing to be defined by it. The 8 standing wands suggests that your past struggles have become current resources. Maybe challenges you once barely survived have transformed into wisdom that now protects and guides you. Sometimes this card arrives when we're ready to appreciate our own journey, to recognize that what felt like senseless suffering at the time was actually essential preparation for challenges we couldn't have imagined when we were younger. This card frequently appears when paranoia and prudence are hard to distinguish, when your heightened awareness could either be wisdom learned from experience or anxiety creating problems that don't yet exist. The alert stance suggests that some vigilance serves genuine safety, that paying attention to patterns and staying present to what's actually happening right now can be forms of intelligent self-care rather than fearful anticipation. There's something here about the loneliness that can accompany being almost finished with difficult phases. Perhaps you're discovering that the people who supported you through earlier stages aren't necessarily equipped to understand what you're facing now. The solitary figures suggest that some final tests require meeting ourselves without witnesses, finding out what we're made of when no one else is watching or able to help. The gray sky speaks to a persistence that doesn't depend on encouragement from external conditions. Maybe you're learning to maintain faith during periods when neither success nor failure feels imminent, when the only choice is to keep showing up without guarantees about timing or outcomes. Sometimes the Nine of Wands appears when we're ready to continue based on internal commitment rather than external motivation, when we discover that our dedication to what matters has become stronger than our need for immediate results. This card interpretation comes from my new book, where I explore all 78 cards as mirrors for the human experience. If you'd like to continue this conversation with the complete deck, you'll find it linked in the description.